Well, the UN has already stated that all the indications are that ethnic cleansing is going on, and this is not the first time it's happened. It's been going on for some time. I visited Rakhine State in 2013 after there were over 120,000 people were displaced and many more displaced and had to cross borders into Bangladesh and other neighbouring states. It's continued. Last October this happened again, and once again it's happening, and the international community seems to be helpless in its response, and that is not acceptable. So I welcome the UN announcement that there will be a debate on this matter. I think the international community needs to apply pressure on the military general who's responsible for these attacks, as well as the civilian-led government, where it's right that we've called on Aung San Suu Kyi to speak out, but the military is calling the shots, and that pressure needs to be applied to the generals.
When you look at how she is dealing with the situation in her country, what is your view?
Well, she went through an enormous struggle, having been under house arrest, fought for her country's independence from the generals, from the military. But it's an imperfect democracy. It's a fledgling democracy. The international community has been hugely supportive, both of her, and rightly so, and her struggle for democracy and freedom for her fellow countrymen and women. But the challenge has been in getting her, as well as, and in particular the military, to stop these attacks on minorities, not just Rohingya Muslims, but also other minorities. And there have been many who have raised their voice and shown deep concern, including, of course, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, about the fact that she hasn't spoken out against these injustices, as someone who people look to with great admiration, and rightly so, for her struggle for democracy and human rights in her country. But that's not happening in this case, and in the case of other minorities. But I stress again, the media and the international community, member states of the European Union, as well as the US and other countries, need to call out the military, because they still hold the balance of power. They still have control over defense, security, borders. There are many countries that are, including our government, that's funded training for the military, but it hasn't worked. And we are calling, parliamentarians, over 178 of us have signed a letter to the Foreign Secretary calling for suspension of training, because it's just not working, and it's wrong for the international community to continue to support the military when they have not improved their practices. In fact, they've continued to prosecute attacks on minorities and have been accused of crimes against humanity and ethnic cleansing.